Years ago, when my parents started this with the policemen, I don't think we ever thought it was going to be this big. It is very moving and touching to think that 29 years later, we're still talking about Michael Buczek. I believe his life was given for this reason. His life was to change Washington Heights.
In the north end of Manhattan, tucked among the apartments and tenements of the Washington Heights neighborhood, is a park that feels like an oasis. It's a field of dreams to the community. It's where the police officer Michael J. Buczek Little League plays its games. So how did the league come about?
The league came about actually in October 18th, 1988. A police officer named Michael Buczek, who worked in the 34th Precinct, which covers Washington Heights, was shot and killed in the line of duty. The following springtime, his family and members of the 34th Precinct and the community got together to create this bond to start this Little League here.
My parents, Ted and Josephine, decided that their youngest son's legacy was not going to be a murder on the sidewalk of Washington Heights. And for him to be remembered in the neighborhood, as well as the children in the neighborhood that Michael always talked about, the good people of Washington Heights, to have a safe place to play.
After September 11th happened, we decided to name the teams after heroes that were killed on 9/11. So every team had the name of a policeman that was killed in line of duty on the back of their shirt. We're the only league in the country where we stress the name on the back of the shirt is more important than the name in front of the shirt. And so all the kids know about that, and they're told about that in the beginning of the year. You could ask them who they play for, they'll tell you. Every year, unfortunately, we have to rotate new names in, you know, which is tough on us because I hate adding new members, but to honor them, the families really are really amazed to see, you know, young kids running around wearing their son or their husband's shirt, you know, with their name on the back.
Oh, great job. I mean,
do you get up here in this area a lot, or?
I mean, well, I drive to go to the stadium every day for almost 14 years, right?
Yeah.
But I was born down the street. I live down the street, so this is, you know, near and dear to my heart, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I love to see the kids playing. We need to have more kids playing. One of the most recent names the league had to add was Michael Williams, a rookie who was born into a family of police officers. He was a patrolman in Brooklyn and lost his life in September of 2014. Almost 3 years later, his parents Mike and Joanne attended just about every game of the team named after their son.
I just remember looking around the field and seeing all the police and seeing the parents and then the kids, and I was thinking to myself, they've got something special here.
When you see your son's name on that shirt and all the kids, you know, sometimes after a game, they all yell out his name. It just makes you realize that he's not going to be forgotten.
To see his name on the back of these kids' jerseys and to see these kids running around, running the bases and chasing the ball, it's something that sometimes I can't even put into words. It means so much.
Come on, come on, come on, come on! Most of the coaches in the league are volunteer policemen. They do it in their own time with no monetary benefits.
2 outs, guys, 2 outs, 2 outs!
The newest coach this season is Henry Chow, Officer Williams' former partner.
It's a great way to give back, and especially in honor my partner, my late partner's memory. Just keep his memory alive, because he was all about the kids.
Good try, man. Good try. Way to get on.
He always wanted to make an impression on the kids, whether it was just by a simple wave, or playing basketball with them, dribbling with them, making them, feel safe.
All right, man. All right.
There's really nothing that makes you feel better than to see kids grow up, and hopefully they come back and tell you, listen, thanks to you, this is what I did, or thanks to you, this is the road I'm taking.
Go, 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 go! Hurry up! Hustle!
Lieutenant Carlos Peralta speaks from experience. Not only is he one of the volunteer coaches, he grew up in Washington Heights and is one of the many former players in the league that became a police officer.
I I always just considered the kids that were playing in the league as sons of mine. And, you know, fortunately, I've had over 35 kids that either I coached or other policemen coached that came through the league that have gone on to become policemen in the NYPD.
It seems like it's improved the neighborhood.
Absolutely. I mean, the amount of homicides we had back in 1988, we used to lead the city really almost every year. We've always been in the top 3, late 80s, early 90s in homicide. So it really has improved.
Our job here is definitely a lot easier. The league has a lot to do with it. There has been thousands of kids that came through this league and they have moved on. I think they are a lot more receptive to police officers in this community than other communities that I have policed. There are so many police officers interacting with so many kids that it just passes on.
Going back 29 years, and when our Little League started, it was a different place, a different time. I do believe with my heart that it was a stepping stone to the revitalization of Washington Heights.
We're really trying to honor these people because I really do believe that you die twice in life. The second time is when they say your name for the last time. So if I can keep these names alive and keep these families seeing their loved ones out there with little children running around, that's something very special.